Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At. Today we are taking a look at Gigantic by Montega Inc., I believe, and published via Perfect World Entertainment. It is available on Steam and it is free to play. However, you do need to install the Arc launcher outside of Steam. So from Steam it kind of loads into that if you choose to, but you can also just get it separately on the Arc launcher if you prefer. And they describe it as a strategic hero shooter, which is fair because a lot of like lazy descriptions, of which I am guilty of as well, will basically just say it's a bit of a weird MOBA. It has MOBA-esque elements, but it's also more focused on actual heroes. There's no like creep. Is that what they're called? The only MOBA I've ever played for any great length of time is Smite, and that in itself is not the stereotypical style. There's no trash mobs. They're sort of towers, but they're animals. It's a little weird. I've been playing it a lot. I believe I got offered a key for it, even though it is free to play. And I thought, okay, that's something new to try. And I've tried it a little bit, and I like it a lot. And I'm actually very surprised at how unknown it seems to be. It doesn't seem to have a lot of active players, like maybe a few thousand, which is a lot relative to, say, like a stereotypical indie game release on Steam. It deserves more than that, I feel. And although I am going to be giving unbiased opinions here of Gigantic, I should just point out, as I said, the dev did send me a key which unlocked all the heroes, so I don't have to buy them. It's free to play, so there is microtransactions. I'm not being paid for this coverage or anything like that, and I'm making that clear because I believe they did actually do some sponsorship deals with Twitch streamers and YouTubers. Nothing like that happening here. They did also give me some codes to give away to my viewers for some skin for some of the heroes. That's as far as it goes. I believe I've put everything on the table. So let's jump in. Now, in order to focus on what I'm saying, I think I'm probably just going to play a bot match. However, we'll jump into practice first. But the bot match in this is 5 players versus bots. Now, I'm having some internet issues at the moment in my new house, so I'm not sure if I can actually play online currently. But anyway, we'll look at the microtransaction stuff as well towards the end. Here's the current roster of heroes. Rutger is the newest addition as of a couple of days ago from me recording this. It's an interesting mix of characters. They fall into the usual archetypes of like damage dealer, tank, healer, assassin. But you do get to kind of take them down multiple skill paths. Yeah, this is the new guy. He's a shield based tank. Or armor, I guess. I say shield because of Overwatch. And also, if I mention a lot of similarities to Overwatch, it is on purpose, and I know people sometimes complain about why is everything compared to Overwatch. A point of reference is something people know on purpose. If I said that, like, I don't know, if I said, oh, Paco here, he's really similar to some obscure character from Suikoden 1 on PS1, that's not a good point of reference because it's so old and it's not popular and not a lot of people played Suikoden 1. Comparing things to Overwatch is fair because it's an easy point of reference, not suggesting there's been any kind of like plagiarizing of content or anything like that. It's just a good point of reference. Paco is a little bit similar to me because he's ice-based. It's not a particularly fair comparison, but for instance, Voden is very, very similar to Hanzo, except you actually have to aim. So, you know, these point of references are not to try and like say, oh, this game just copied Overwatch. No, it's to give a viewer who is not familiar with Gigantic a basis by which to understand how a character works. And I'm putting that out front first because I see a lot of blowback anytime anything is compared to something that's popular. But anyway, we're almost through all the characters. I don't know if they have like a release schedule, a set date for new maps and characters and whatnot, but the roster is fine as is. It's fair. This is also a fairly new character, I believe. I believe we're just about to finish. Uncle Sven is the weirdest one for sure. It's like Dr. Wily and Dr. Robotnik mated together. And this is basically my channel avatar, so Trip is my favourite character from a visual perspective. Although they're always female. This is basically Symmetra and a hare. She has the best run animation in the game. And Zenobia is Valinar's favourite, if you've seen some of the VODs of us playing Gigantic already. This is the Scottish character. And then we're back to the start. And for each, you can research their skills a little bit, which we'll get into in a second, and they also have skills. There's 2 currencies in the game. The red one is the one you can buy if you so choose. Gold is just earned from playing the game, essentially. You do also earn some of the red currency from just playing the game, I believe, unless the ultimate pack I was given had some. I'm not sure. What you do get is daily boosts, which are fortune cards, which are quests, and when you complete them, you get rewards. Like for instance, I keep on doing things involving Paco because he's the best character in the game. I picked a card where I've got to get 25 assists as Paco. If I do, I get 700... Wait, what is that? Oh, 700 mastery and 65 coin. So, actually, maybe, yeah, I think that's probably just a bonus from the pack I was given there. But anyway, enough of getting lost in menus. Let's go to play, and we're going to go to practice. And we're going to jump into the practice arena, and I'll show you how the game works. Also, the game is very pretty. The visual style was very similar to Fortnite, in my opinion, and we'll play as a character who looks like my channel avatar. She is an assassin. She is a lightning-themed assassin. All that she's missing is a scythe, and she would be, and maybe also being male, I guess. And she would be the perfect in-game representation of my channel avatar if it's ever existed. So, ready up?
Let's get stabbing.
So, the game plays a lot like Smite, if you ever played that one. In terms of like how you move, you've got your abilities along the bottom. We have 10 upgrade points to spend. Usually you have to level up by doing things within a battle, but because this is practice mode, we just get the points to spend. And the gist of it is 2 giant monster gods are having a fight, and depending on which side you're on, you're either helping a giant pudgy griffin thing or an evil looking misunderstood snake wound the other giant monster, and it's the first to 3 wounds wins. So you build up power for the big monster by getting kills, by securing areas, which we're going to do in a second. All that stuff, and then once I was going to say a timer, but it's not a timer really. Once a power bar, I guess, reaches 100, it triggers a rampage where your monster god attacks the other monster god, and then you've got to do a wound to it while it's held down. So anyway, these kind of things are littered in the level, and you can see the map on the right there. You can choose to summon, again a MOBA equivalent, a tower, and in doing so you can make it do certain things, like a monster that builds gates so it's harder for your enemy to traverse this area, one that heals you, although it can only heal one person at a time, or one that reveals cloaked enemies, and characters like the one I'm playing as has a cloak. So I'll summon the one that can heal. Just hold the button and summon it down. You can make it bigger and better as well if you're willing to use focus, but we'll talk about focus in a second. So anyway, abilities for her, she's just got like lightning slices that build up more, is it more damage the more you hit? I think you have to upgrade it before it does that actually. She's got a throwing knife on right click. Her Q is kind of like a slide and you can do a kick out of it. And E is cloak. The middle button is her ultimate, but you have to build up to that. And as I say, in practice mode you get all 10 skill points just to spend. So for instance, this is her basic attack. We get to go 2 different paths, and depending on which path we go, we get different abilities. So each hit can build up 5 basic attack. Or we can do this one, which is from stealth you do bonus damage. And that goes to kind of like a bleeding route. My personal choice is I like this one just doing more flat out damage, so I'm going to take that. And then I'm also going to take the one where my movement speed goes up with every hit, because that means I can hunt down my target. For throwing knives, we could say throw more daggers just because. And then you can also power up your attacks so that they do crits. You can also make it so that if you throw daggers, you don't lose stealth, which is handy as well. But we'll take this one just to try it. I haven't really gone this route before. The slide, we can make it a guaranteed crit, or we can make it do damage if we pass through targets. But it also takes away the kick part. I usually go this route. I've been criticised for it, but I don't care because I like it. You can slide and not break stealth. Usually I do that one to get the speed boost to run away afterwards, so we'll take that. Our stealth, we can make it daze our targets if we stealth. I usually go this route for the movement speed increase, honestly, because then you get flash step to be like a total weeb, so we'll take that. At level 5 you unlock your passive trait, and you get a choice of 3 of these. I know we're getting bogged down in a lot of menus, but it's the easiest way to explain what's going on, honestly. Clashes are what happens when the end of the match arrives. The level shrinks, the monsters get closer to each other, and it gives you a special attack to make things go faster. Generally speaking, rounds of this are like 20 minutes tops. So anyway, my plasma blades can deal, if they deal bleed it does ×2 damage. I can slide more often, or I can reduce the cooldown on flash dance. And then during clash various things happen. Which one is flash dance again? I don't actually remember. Is that this? No, it's plasma blades. Ah, Plasma Blades is my throwing knives, that's right. Flash Dance is my stealth. So I could reduce my stealth time by 5 seconds. Pretty good. And we don't have my throwing knives doing bleed, so this one does literally nothing for me. Being immune to debuffs would be very handy in a normal fight. Let's try that one. I don't usually. And then the middle one is just kind of like general traits that also may affect your ultimate. So plus 10 basic attack damage against foes with less than 50% health. Yep. And then a speed boost and a damage boost after we get a kill, or a damage reduction after using focus, which is when I ult. Let's just take that. So now we're much more powered up and we can actually go fight something. Like, for instance, this little guy over here.
Don't blink. Catch.
So I bled him. I sped through him. And then we're going to cut him until he dies. This is one of the tougher ones, incidentally. It's the tanky one to kind of just test your build. You can sprint by holding shift. The character I'm playing as here is very, very fast. And also the blue bar is our stamina. Stamina is used to sprint, but it is also used to double tap, and you can teleport. Well, she teleports. It's an evade, and it does matter in combat. Certain characters have builds that revolve around pressing attack after teleporting. Like she has... Oh, actually, I didn't know she had that, so I've just learned something about this character. She has a unique dodge strike. It looks like it's a double poke, so it probably does more damage. Certain other characters, for instance, like she does, has a unique jumping attack. Some characters won't do anything special in the air at all. So there's nuances to different characters as well. So let's build up our ult so we can see what it does. Just poison them all, dash through them. Got 2 kills and our ult is almost charged. Got him. Very, very nearly. Just need one more little guy. You'll do. Alright, so we have our ult. Most ults, not all of them, but most of them involve charging up, and the longer you charge, the more damage it's willing to do. Hers is a kind of like dash forwards. If she hits someone, she does a cool combo on them. If she misses, she just teleports back to where she was. So for instance, locked on, I'm charging it up. I accidentally didn't press it fast enough. There we go. If you wait too long, the charge doesn't work. There you go. So that's our ult. And there you have it. So that's roughly speaking, that is how the combat works. But keep in mind again, you can't just instantly build up your character when a match starts. You have to actually level up by getting kills on enemies, by getting assists, by putting down towers, helping wounding the big monsters, and what have you. So I should also point out, although it is free to play and you can buy in-game rubies, which I guess we'll quickly have a look at before I try and do a bot match, depending on my internet connection. The rubies, the purchase prices, there's the cost. 500 cost you £4 British. You can get 12,000 of them for £76. It's pretty high. And then there's also boosts you can buy as well, which I've never really dabbled in. But there is also a ultimate pack that you can get on Steam for £23.99 in British pounds, and that unlocks all heroes and all future heroes. Not their skins, but you get access to all heroes. Instead of, if you're playing for free, the ones that have clocks are your rotation. So you get to try out different people depending... I don't know how often it changes, actually. I don't know if it's weekly, daily, or what. And there is also a little starter pack that you can get on Steam as well, which is £7.99, and it has only a couple of heroes in it, I believe, and some skins. And I will be linking to the Steam store page for Gigantic below. But anyway, let's jump into a bot match. 5 players versus 5 bots. Hopefully my connection will last. I really, really do like Paco. He is the best. So if I maybe just untick everybody else and just say the only person I want to play as is Paco, because Paco is love and Paco is life. And we'll say done. And again, I have been having internet issues, so I might not be able to show you this. We'll see. And hopefully it won't take long to get a match. When you first start up the game, you have to do a tutorial which kind of teaches the basics of wounding monsters and whatnot. You then also have to do a bot match prior to letting you play against people. But because the game works, and because matches are so quick, there's not really... I haven't seen any MOBA-esque, or even like hero shooter-esque, if we're going by Overwatch, salt. And if there has been any... you leave a match so quickly, it doesn't matter. I'm honestly confused as to why more people aren't playing Gigantic, and I had a few theories. I don't know if there's any weight to any of them. Like, I was reading some of the Steam reviews, because on Steam it's sitting on Mixed at the moment, prior to the most recent update. The general consensus of a lot of neutral and or negative reviews is that the game doesn't have enough of a competitive edge. Like, for instance, matches always seem to be one-sided, and I kind of agree. We've had some amazing close matches, and they're definitely the standout ones, but they're also the rarest. It's usually, especially because I'm playing with a full group of friends who are in voice comms with each other more or less, we usually either stomp or get stomped. But it's the matches where it's close or tense or back and forth that really stand out as being exciting, and I have actually highlighted a couple of those so far if you're interested in seeing some. Unfortunately, it's taking us a while to find a match. I don't think that's related to my connection. If I have any connection issues, it'll just be lag once we're into the game. This is a problem with just both how many people are playing in total, and also they're probably playing the actual match, not bot matches. It's also maybe the time of day too. But if you do want to see like player versus player extended Gigantic gameplay, I've uploaded about 3 VODs of us playing it in 2-hour sessions, and as I say, a couple of highlights as well. To go back to other reasons why it might not be doing as well, oh there we go, doing as well as I think it should be. Definitely I think the lack of a super competitive edge is maybe something that puts people off, because that's what they look for. Misconception that it's a MOBA, like just a straight up MOBA, I think is another potential thing that's hindering it, because there's too many MOBAs. Who have we got here? Lord Gnosis. Oh, is it just the 3 of us? Huh, okay. Paco. Paco is the best character. Also, we're on the Pudgy Griffin's side. Let's see, what other reasons? I can't imagine... Oh, so I guess it's just 3 of us against 3 bots, okay. I can't imagine the visual style would put people off, but maybe it would. It's made in Unity, but it's really pretty. Oh, so my first upgrade as Paco is always that one. So the way Paco works is he's a tank. He's got a lot of regen capability. He can just kind of swipe. He can chuck a snowball at people. He can slide along the floor and look very cute as he does so. And he can create like ice bits to slow enemies down. And I am going to go make a heal here, because we're only playing against bots, so I don't think anything else matters. Monster. Oh, haven't heard him doing that version of the line. I like his other version where he stutters. Alright, we should be running into the enemy bots any second now. Hargrave. I got him. There is no escape, Hargrave. Also, the bots are very suicidal. The bots are not great. And we'll be taking heal over time from my slide. So we got a level pretty quick there. And again, you can't get your passive until level 5. What else could we be doing? We could be... Well, you need focus to put something on here, and I have no focus. Focus is, you either use it to upgrade towers or build towers, or you use it for your ultimates. You have to choose. Oh, he's collecting an orb. He got... Ow! Oh, I froze him. He ain't getting away. Margrave might. He's gotten so close to the Pudgy Griffin that the Pudgy Griffin is attacking him. Yeah, he's committing suicide. So we triggered a rampage because we got 100 points filled first. The enemy currently has 40 points. So now the Pudgy Griffin is going to go attack the Evil Snake and reveal its weak point for us to deal damage to it. Also, this might be getting a little bit loud now. Oh, hello there, assassin lady, who looks like my channel avatar. So I have ult, which is turn enemies into snow people. And sadly, we're not doing a lot of damage right now. I might die, but it's worth it. There we go. Run away, Paco. That doesn't just freeze enemies, it also makes me move faster. And we got 2 skill points for dealing a wound that quickly. Let's make my left swipes give me armor. Yeah. He chased me. He's dead now. Let's see. Let's do... I never usually go this route. Gain additional focus when you freeze an enemy, but I freeze enemies a lot with the build I take, so maybe I should be. I'm still learning the game, is worth pointing out. Oh, already died. I think that was a pretty good shot too. The damage dealer is staying hidden. You know the good thing about it is if the game audio is now too loud because I'm in a match, at least you get to hear Paco. Where's that assassin going? The assassin is just kind of standing there. Well, goodbye, that's another 100. Oh, hello, enemies, hang on. Let's see, maybe get our passive here. Slip and slide can no longer slide before attacking. Speed boost and freezing lasts an extra... yeah. Oh, you still chased me? You know what, you two stay there while I go wound your monster. Pago! Didn't even need to use my ult. Unless we're about to be hit in the back, I suppose. Oh, hey, we're about to be hit in the back. Alright, I turn him into snowman, now I'm running away. So because the monster has one wound left, the final clash has started. That's when the level shrinks and both the monsters kind of... ooh, that hurts. Both the monsters kind of move in. Things become more tense. I need to get healed. This map doesn't change as much as some of the other ones. Like one of the bigger maps, half the level becomes underwater, so you can't go there anymore. What can I do here? Yes, if an enemy is on your path, get healed per 75 per second. That is a really good one if you're just making Paco be super tanky. Because generally, actually maybe that's another general complaint. When you're not playing against bots, what will usually happen is it's very big team fights. Very rarely will it be one-on-one duels. And that might annoy some people. I'm honestly, again, not sure. That could be a reason. Like, it always comes down to just who happens to get lucky in the team encounters. I disagree with that assertion, but it does come across like that every so often. Anyway, we're at 80. We're going to get the next clash in a second here. Just going to get a couple of kills. Oh, or not. Someone got a power orb. Damage resistance forever. And let's go probably win. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Good job, Pudgy Griffin. Victory indeed. Victory for Paco. He will devour the world. So it has like hero mastery and stuff like that. I believe certain skins and weapon skins are locked behind mastery, but I'm not 100% on that. So that was only a 3-on-3. There usually is obviously more people, but I guess it matched one bot to everyone who was trying to do that. I'm not sure I want to risk an online match right now again with my ping as it is. I'm waiting for it to be fixed. But I think that's done a nice little overview of Gigantic. I highly recommend playing it. It's free to play, so you might as well give it a go. It is not a MOBA of the stereotypical type. It's also not a hero shooter of the stereotypical type. It's in this weird space between the two, and it requires trying it, I feel. There's a point of reference that's easy enough for the characters, but not for the type of game it is. And I like that there's different builds you can take characters. Like this Hanzo guy, you can make him focus his decoy that you can summon, so it actually becomes another version of him that attacks. You can take him a poison route, you know, that sort of stuff. There's interesting things you can do with the characters. I don't know the game like the back of my hand yet, because again, I haven't been playing it that much. Well, I have been playing it quite a lot recently, but I haven't been playing it for very long in total. I do recommend trying it. It is a bit annoying that you have to get the Arc launcher even if you're playing it through Steam. I can understand that being a stopping point for some people as well, honestly. But I do encourage you to go check it out if you are a little bit interested in a sort of MOBA, a sort of hero shooter that's somewhere in the middle where games are not super long, you don't have to invest a crap ton of time. There doesn't really seem to be a toxic community at all. And again, this is like, we played it for about 8 hours in total. I don't think I've seen a single salty person, although I don't even know if there's an in-game chat. So that might have something to do with it. Either way, I encourage you to go check it out. If you want to see more actual footage of player versus player, there is a gigantic playlist on my channel for you to see long VODs of us playing it together, me and my friends. There's also a couple of quick highlights in the Twitch highlights playlist if you're interested. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll go check out Gigantic. And if you do, you can put in a referral thing. I have no idea what it does. Actually, wait, no, I might be confusing that with Dauntless. You know, the problem with Gigantic and Dauntless, they're both one word, and they both are... They have a similar style of visuals, so I confuse the two of them together more than I would like. So never mind, ignore that last bit. Thank you very much for watching. Go check out Gigantic, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.